morning. I forgot to bring my mic closer to me. So, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I was told is they should have treated you better. Regretting it now. So, I'd say that's pretty self explanatory. There is someone who is not happy with your distance from them. Um, let's just kind of see where this goes. Let's just see where this goes. We're going to just see where this goes. Because I already saw things that I've been fighting with myself for the past 15, 20 minutes or so to not um, to not comment on someone's post on Facebook. I got to talk about it. The reason I got to talk about it is because we need to put this type of thing on blast. Okay. For some reason, one of my girlfriends, her post from several days ago pops up, and only one person comments from there. They commented on it. And it was just some random post. And someone comments that they want the person who posted to privately message them so they could talk to them about their evil friends. And I'm like, oh, well, that's on a whole nother level of demon horrida. Like, if you want to gossip and talk caca about other people, just take the initiative and message the person directly. You don't have to make that public announcement that you're going to do that, right? And I want to see, like, before I cast my judgment, I want to see, like, am I misunderstanding this? Because it feels so toxic. It feels just so absolutely like you, right? So I go on the person's profile, the one that made the comment. It's nothing but posts about God. And what I've been fighting with myself about for the past 15 minutes, I want to put this comment, tag them in it, and be like, girl, I don't know if you know this, but God doesn't like gossip. That's demon whore behavior. You know? Um yeah. So it's kind of like setting the stage, setting the mood for this reading. And I had already gotten this, this was all set already before I saw that. They should have treated you better, regretting it now. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. The people who have the most to say and who are the most judgmental are often the most horrendous. I say that with zero hesitation, zero shame, zero guilt, just calling it as it is. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of this thing of like, I want to know how many people that type of behavior helps. How many? This whole like not holding people accountable for their behavior. And the reason I haven't commented on that yet is because I'm aware. And I'm saying this as an actual reverend, right? I'm an actual reverend, yet people will go and like project all of their toxicity onto me as though I'm wicked and whatever. That's fine. The thing here is that we have to really, really understand, what are we wasting our energy on? People like that are not interested in hearing or seeing anything that does not promote their narrative of they are holier than thou. I mean, that behavior definitely makes you holy on a demonic level. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? There's different versions of holiness. You can be part of the dark holiness, that shadow holiness, the holy wickedness. That's what that's holy in. So when people treat you poorly and you realize this and you move forward, keep it that way. Definitely keep it that way. Don't attack yourself. You can question. Okay, it's okay for you to question and see kind of where you're seated within your journey, right? Within your spiritual vehicle. Where are you seated? Are you in the back seat or are you in the driver's seat? Or is someone else in the driver's seat and you're simply riding shotgun? Like, it's not enough to ride shotgun when it comes to your spiritual journey. You have to actually be the one to drive yourself down your spiritual road. And I think that's what this reading is really focused on. You know, someone is regretting their behavior. Is it you? Is it someone else? What's going on here? So let's start pulling cards. Message in reverse. So this is a message that's not being received. I'm wondering if you're someone else's karma. Ooh, hot diggity dog. Are you someone's karma? Oh, I like that. I'm just saying, is that what it is? You're serving as someone else's karma. Like you didn't volunteer to be their karma, but their behaviors turned you into their karma. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between you just kind of staying in your lane and doing your thing and not participating in BS. And because of your authentic self, because of your integrity, you're inadvertently becoming someone's karma because they can't get their way with you. They can't manipulate you. Versus going out of your way to try and punish someone. That's not karma. That's a tit for tat, reflective of their toxicity. You're nothing but a reflection of their toxicity. Be careful about those types of situations, okay? Don't justify your reflection of their toxicity by saying it's their karma. When you wish harm to happen to someone, that's the same thing as saying they're going to get their karma. You're wishing harm because in your head, you've defined karma as something negative. For me, karma is nothing but a lesson playing out. So I don't even need to be like, oh, they're going to get their karma. For me, part of the way that I move forward from that type of BS is simply like, you know what? Shitty people live shitty lives. That's all I need to remind myself. I don't even need to be about punishing you or any of that. Shitty people live shitty lives. That your punishment is you. See? So you don't even have to involve yourself in that. This person, whoever it is, they are not receiving the messages from soul. If they are receiving it, they're contorting it into something that soul is not trying to say. You know, they're totally manipulating it into something else. Denial. They're so upside down in their denial. They have no idea why you're acting this way. You have no idea. You didn't realize what you did. But Emmy, I didn't do anything. Oh, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. I'm pretty certain of that. No, I didn't do anything. Oh, yeah, you did. Like when people get all bajiggity with me, right? I know what I did. I walked away. They couldn't access me anymore. They couldn't feed off of me anymore. They couldn't benefit off of me anymore. And so that's why they acted the way they did. You always are doing something to co-create an event. For you, it might just be, you know, standing up for yourself. speaking your truth, being who you are. That might be the very thing that you did. Who knows? It's not always you being the drama. It's you co-creating the drama by being accessible to the very people who are all about the drama. I'm just saying. Beauty in reverse. This is an ugly situation. That's fine. It's a situation that, kind of like that saying of a face only a mother could love. They are the mother of this drama, and so they love it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Self-worth. Remember your self-worth. Remember your self-worth. Your self-worth is not something tattooed on your skin. It's something that lives inside you. It's something that is within you, and it is something that could be ridiculously beautiful, or it can be something that's more like adversarial. And you need to go through all of these really ridiculous type situations before you can figure out what that worth actually is. Hold on. Girl. So Joy was having a rough morning. Miss Joy was having a rough morning. She's in the studio with me. Miss Joy, come here, girl. We're having a rough morning today. All right. High Priestess of Spirit. Ooh, really just tapping into this person that exists within you, this version of you that's already a very high value part of you. Now, excuse me. Sometimes we will have things, whether they're material things or simply aspects of ourselves, that we do not expect to be as valuable as it is, right? For example, my husband is a collector. Excuse me. My husband's a collector, and he collects a lot of different things, right? And I remember years ago, he went through some of his toy stash, and he keeps them in like the mintest condition ever. And he starts, excuse me, what's going on with me? He starts opening the packages and giving the toys to our kids. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, what? I don't want these anymore. I'm like, what are you doing though? Those are collector's items. Like, what are you doing? Why are you letting them open it? And he's like, no, it's okay. I've had it for a long time. I don't want it anymore. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Fast forward several months or a year, and he sees something, whether it's a post on some collector website or I don't know what. He goes, oh man. Yeah, he had like, I think they were Power Ranger toys. He had them since the 90s. And these toys that he didn't want anymore, so it had no value to him. And he just, gave it to our kids to play with. He pulled it out of the package, gave it to the kids to play with. I think they were worth like several $100s. I was like, you don't want it no more. I mean, I'm fine with him giving it to the kids, but like, research the value first. Understand the value of what you're gifting to our children and explain to them. Like, it should stay in the box because this is part of like your inheritance. This is part of, what I'm leaving for you. This is a gift for you. It has value. And that's the thing. There are parts of us where we don't understand the value of it. And you don't know until you do all of this research, all of this learning about yourself, about who you are, your intrinsic value, the way you affect other people with your presence. You won't know that self-worth until you go through that part of your journey. Okay? And just because This is all you've known. This is all you are. It doesn't diminish who you are just because you don't understand the value of that. Yesterday I was considering, I gotta find, I screenshot it. I was considering partaking in a learning opportunity. I was gonna sign up for some program, and it's very interesting because I wasn't sure what to do. Right, I really was just not sure what to do, and I was feeling like I need time to really just assess a lot of what's happening. Like, this whole situation, it's not a bad situation, it's a beautiful opportunity type of situation. It's me being proactive about calling in my actual purpose and my abundance, right? And something just, I don't know, I kept hesitating. And so I had told a really good friend, like, I'm just going to sit and like look for signs today, allow myself to receive the signs that are necessary for me to understand what decision needs to be made. And the very program that I was considering joining, um, it sent me a notification. Literally within minutes of me saying that, setting that intention. And the notification reads, your story has value. Invest in yourself. Ooh, wee. And here I am thinking my story has no value, that I need something outside of me in order to create some type of value that's already existed within me. Your story has value. But when you continue to invest in everything outside of you, leaving nothing for you, then you will continue to come across the people who, once you get through that, they will wish they had treated you better so that they could have continued to stay in your space and benefit from their proximity to you. See, some people only wish they treated you better because they no longer could access you, right? It's not because they realized your worth and like, oh my God, I miscalculated this. I didn't realize. Oh no. It was this thing of, damn, now they have this reach. Now they have this type of effect. Now they have this, whatever it is that you have that they didn't realize was already within you. Right. And this ties into the very fear, the concern that I was having about joining a specific program. And the fear was that it would be a repeat of cycles from years ago where I allowed someone to showcase me. And then they saw that people gravitated to me, that people loved me. And because of that, they then began to do this spin doctor move of, I created her. She's my most successful success story. She's successful because of me. And it was never this thing of, this is who Emmy is. People just needed to see her, and I encouraged her. It wasn't that at all. It was, I created her. And that was the fear of people not realizing this has always existed inside of me. I just needed to get out of my comfort zone, this space where I hide so much of myself because I don't know how people will receive it. I've gotten to a point. I'm going to behave however it is I behave, given whatever circumstance or environment I am placed in. I'm going to have to just be me. And if you don't like it right now, that's okay. Why is that okay? Because we're all at different levels of awareness, different levels of understanding, compassion, spiritual maturity, all of that. We're at different levels. And it's not this hierarchy that I'm trying to establish. It's this realization we were never meant to walk in a straight line. Even the ocean caresses the shore at different points and different times. This ebb and flow, that's how life is supposed to be lived, in this ebb and flow, this pulling away only to rush forward once again. This difference in your positioning because of the high tide or the low tide. There's nothing evil about the low tide and nothing superior about the high tide. If you look at nature, that is the exact blueprint, the map that you use for your spiritual journey. Look at that. Look at the tides. Okay. Let's look at this. High tide is like, oh, the ocean's super full, is powerful, right? But then the low tide, it's like, wow, look at all this beauty that's exposed as the ocean kind of pulls away. You find all the tide pools, and you get the opportunity as a land dweller to begin to see the beauty of what exists beneath the surface. When you pull back, when you are in a low tide, that is what's happening. The most beautiful parts of you, the most miraculous parts of your existence are being exposed to the very people who don't have the capacity to see it when you are in your full power. Ooh, I'm just saying. Be an ocean unto yourself. An ocean has depths that are still not explored. It's said that we've only explored like a very, very tiny, tiny fraction of a percentage of the actual ocean. There are still so many ocean animals, ocean critters that we've never seen. Joy, come here. Come here. Good girl. Come here. Don't go through stuff. Don't go through stuff. How much of yourself have you yet to explore? My hair. How much? Have you explored every single aspect of yourself? Do you know where your strengths are? Do you know where you're the deepest? Do you know what parts of you are treacherous? Do you know what parts of you carry with it certain destruction? Because there's parts of the ocean where boats will consistently either capsize or what's it called, run ground or whatever the heck it's called, where maybe there's a coral reef, and if you go too close to it, you're going to get all these holes put into your boat and you're going to sink there, right? I mean, have you explored any of these parts? Because I promise you, the people who are observing you, they are researching you, they are looking into you, they are thinking they know everything. Like, I'm certain the person who commented that was someone who saw the work that I was doing to help a friend and her children, because that's where the comment was on their post. And I'm certain that that person saw that they were associated with me in some way, shape, or form. And then they decided, oh, Lord Jesus, come take the wheel. This blasphemer is trying to take a child of God from God's bosom. Because I use cards? Bitch, please. I don't gossip. I'm sorry. Recognize what true wickedness is. I'll gladly take a step back, but you better start feeding her kids. Because where the fuck were you when she needed someone? I haven't seen no donation come in from you. So who the fuck is wicked here? Because you best believe that person, I'm certain, went and looked through my whole profile. They tried to look through my personal profile. I'm sure they went to my website. Bitch, I'm an actual reverend. I don't quote scripture. I speak the living word of God. There's a difference. There's a difference. It's a massive difference. And I'm only just beginning to understand the value of my difference. I don't quote scripture despite being indoctrinated from kindergarten all the way through, despite having this dream, this wish to become a Carmelite nun and devote my life to God. Ooh, I was looking at my old blog, right? I started a blog on Blogspot, and that was years ago. And I was looking through and I was like, gosh, that was me. That was me. Like, wow. I see this one entry where it's like, God and I, we have conversations all day. God's my BFF. Like, we talk all day. All day we're talking. I'm getting messages and I'm asking questions and I'm going out of my way to try and understand, what do you want me to do? Now I don't have those conversations. Why? Because I don't see God as something outside of me. I see myself as a fractal of a fractal of a fractal of a fractal of a component of what God is. And I am living God. I am not a living God. I am not the living God. I am living God, knowing my feet were created by this essence and guided by it too. People gonna learn. And the only way they're gonna learn how they done fucked up is when you stop feeling like you're the one messing up. When you start stepping into what your actual purpose is. That's the only way they're gonna learn. And you don't have to hold it against them for lacking the knowledge, the maturity, the wisdom. You don't have to, nor do you have to waste your time with trying to be their teacher for a subject matter they don't have the capacity to understand. They just don't. They don't. Not everyone does. Some people will take a few years to understand these things. Other people will never understand it during their lifetime. You know, the devil can quote scripture to further his means. I'm just saying. The devil can also quote scripture. And unless you're well versed in the teachings of the Essenes, Nazarene Essenes at that, I don't know that you really truly know what the teachings of Jesus is. Because guess what? Jesus is a Nazarene Essene. Christians did not exist during the time of Jesus. They only began after Jesus was executed, allegedly. Jesus did not ask people to follow him. Jesus presented himself in the most authentic manner with no fear, no guilt, no hesitation. And you can't really say that you are living the way, the truth, if you're afraid of people persecuting you. Even with my cards, I'm living more in alignment with what Jesus taught than those who quote scripture. Why? Because I'm not afraid of your persecution. I will continue to be the shining light that I am. That does not make me better. It makes me better able to serve. To get that straight, just because I'm here in service does not mean part of my service is accepting your maltreatment. Get that right. There's a lot of things that people need to start getting right within themselves, and we don't allow ourselves to do the things that need to be done because we're afraid. So I was talking to Michael yesterday, right? I was in the car and we were talking. And I'm just like on my phone. And this is part of the conversation that we were having. It says the situations that I once covered a coward in front of with tears, I now approach with fangs and claws ready. I now allow myself to be filled with sacred rage rather than shame, fear, and guilt for existing. I have found my courage because I found my truth. Be careful now about the way you mishandle me. The version of me that tolerated poor treatment is gone. In its place is the person I have always been, powerful, courageous, unstoppable. Know and accept when you are an immutable truth. You cannot be silenced, you cannot be distorted. Let people be who they are. Let them show the world who they are. What an embarrassment of a woman to go on someone's post and make it clear that your intention is to violate what your God has told you your God does not like. God does not like gossip. You might be a woman of God, but I don't know which God. I don't know which God you're peddling. It's probably not the one you're claiming if you're going on someone's post and encouraging someone to talk shit about someone else. I'm just saying, you agent of darkness. Grove in reverse. Someone's being kicked out of the club. I'm just saying. Someone's not allowed in the club. How are you gonna hate from the outside of the club? You can't even get in. Okay. I'm just saying. Someone's hating from the outside of the club. Love. Look at that. Love. There's areas within your heart that's consumed by shadow. I don't mean that in an evil way. I mean, there are areas within your heart where you hide the depth of how much you can love, how unconditionally you can love. And I think that's where this someone hides. I'm wondering if this is like a soul connection. And part of what's happening is for whoever this is, they're beginning to realize, just like really realize what the heck is happening here. You have occupied this space within their heart for a very long time. Oh, this is a perfect opportunity for me to share my most favorite poem. Okay. I don't know why I love this poem so much, but I just love it. It's 100 Love Sonnets by Pablo Neruda. I don't love you as if you were a rose of salt, topaz, or arrow of carnations that propagate fire. I love you as one loves certain dark things, secretly between the shadow and the soul. I love you as a plant that doesn't bloom but carries the light of those flowers hidden within itself. And thanks to your love, the tight aroma that arose from the earth lives dimly in my body. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you directly without problems or pride. I love you like this because I don't know any other way to love, except in this form in which I am not, nor are you, so close that your hand upon my chest is mine, so close that your eyes close with my dreams. I love that poem. I love that poem so much. It's ridiculous. You have to allow yourself to recognize you've had an effect on someone, right? Shifting gears to a more intimate type of connectivity that this reading might be talking about, allowing the shifting of those gears into the proper placement. So I'm someone that taught myself how to drive manual. I know how to drive 5-speed. I taught myself how to do that. Stick shift, 5-speed manual, whatever you want to call it, whatever, right? So here's the thing. I saw a video yesterday, or it was the day before, and this man has a camera running in his vehicle. His brakes go out. First and foremost, he unbuckles himself. I'm like, is he going to jump out the car? I'm watching this video and I'm like, oh my God, he's just going to abandon ship. You're going to get severe road rash, sir. You're going pretty fast. And so, next thing you know, the video shows after he takes his seatbelt off, what he decides to do is pop the clutch and ram it into reverse. The level of grinding that I could hear in that video, I was like, no, sir, you have 5 gears plus reverse. Why would reverse be the first thing you use? Downshift into third, downshift into second. Use the emergency brake. No, he immediately rams it into reverse. I was like, I just witnessed the murder of a tranny. Like, that transmission is dead. I had this friend in high school, and he was like into racing and stuff. And I mean, I don't know what happened. I guess they were tinkering with his car and they didn't put something back right. I don't know. The reverse went out. He had stick shift. The reverse went out, and instead of fixing it, he would Barney Rubble it. So if he had to reverse, I guess he would pop it into neutral, open his driver door, and use his foot to start pushing. I was like, what are you doing? Are you Barney Rubble? What are you doing? Yeah, okay. So I had amazing people in my life. Y'all, the demon behavior is so intense. I had to get some more rose water. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah. Eliza, seriously, she says, isn't downshifting an automatic thing if you drive a stick? I thought it was. If I see like I'm in a crash, I'm either going to pop it into neutral and slam on my brakes, because the one time I got in an accident, you know what happened? I was 19, and I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. My ADHD took over in the car, and it was traffic, California traffic at that. And I braked real hard because they slammed on their brakes in front of me and I was too close. And I braked real hard, and I made it in time. I didn't hit the car except when it stalled. And I lurched forward when it stalled, and it was just a little love tap. I was like, yeah, that was the only time I've slammed into someone, and it wasn't even it was a love tap because my car stalled. So after that, I learned, pop that shit in neutral. If you're going to start slamming on your brakes, and pop it in neutral. If you have the time, it's either going to get rammed into third and I'm slamming on my brakes before I pop it into neutral, or something. Not second, you'll blow your shit. If you're going too fast, you will redline and blow your stuff. I was just like, oh my God, who does that? You have to know how to properly position yourself, what gear to enter into. So another thing was like, I was just frugal beyond frugal for some reason, right? And so what I was doing, I was skipping gears to save on gas. Don't ask me. So I would go into first, take it up to like the 4, and then instead of going into second, I would pop it into third. And of course, it's slow, no grab to it yet. And then I would take it into third for quite some time before I pop it into fifth, because I don't know, I figured that would save on gas. I don't know if it saves on gas. I don't know. But that was the thing. Like, I didn't have the proper torque, the proper pull. When you're in a car, you need the torque and the horsepower. People only just focus on the horsepower. Horsepower is when you're already you have that momentum and you're trying to keep it going. You have to have torque in order to get your car moving in the first place. Okay, I'm just saying, and people be like, "Oh, girls don't know shit about cars." Please, 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 knock it off. Knock it off. So it's one of those things where, is your horsepower and torque not properly timed? Is it not properly timed? Is it something that, like, you want to be able to brag how much horsepower you got, but if you have no pull, baby, you're not going nowhere. You're not winning that quarter mile, I tell you that much. But if you're all torque, once you maximize that pull and you need the push, you're not going anywhere either. So you have to time it just right. You have to balance it just right. How do you do that? Ask my husband. I do not know. I do not know. I'm just like, you look through something. You point a little something at the engine. You just hold it and you look, and then the guys all look at each other and they're like, it's not timed right. And I'm just like, I don't know what they're doing. I'm not into cars like that. Mm-hmm. 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 Right, honey? Right? But I can diagnose like a mofo. I can diagnose like a mofo. Cars as well. Like, I think your car is telling you your clutch is slipping. I think you're riding on that a little too long. That's what your car is telling me to tell you. I'm very good at diagnostics, regardless of what it is. There's lines when you use a timing gun. See, I knew it. And then I remember Aki would get his Sharpie and he was like trying. And I was like, what are they doing? They're trying lines and they're looking through something. Oh my God. Eliza had 3 Honda Del Sols in a row. Girl. Del Sols are cute. They can spank too. They can go pretty fast. One of my husband's friends has a Del Sol, or had a Del Sol as well. I mean, I don't know. No, we're not talking about cars. Sorry. Welcome, Karmic Expressions. You're new to the channel. I have raging ADHD, and sometimes I go off on tangents, but I have this superpower that allows me to circle that tangent back into the topic at hand. And the topic at hand is your journey, right? It's your journey and the way you have allowed other people to convince you, to allow them back in, because now they regret your absence. Now they this, now they're that. And, it's like, no, you have to do what's right for you, right? It's either advanced timing or retarded timing. I don't know which one is which. And then they start talking about things like, oh, he's burning too rich. It's just like, is that too much gas? Is that something have to be recalibrated for the gas? Yes. Yes. And that also can apply to your spiritual journey, because when you burn too rich and you're burning too much of your fuel unnecessarily, right? Right, Daddy?
Well, advancing the timing, if you're going natural aspirated, just all motor, you advance the timing.
Wait, you got to say it louder. You got to say it louder. Come.
When you're going naturally aspirated, you're always advancing the timing. So you're leaning it out just a little bit. But if you're going to turbo, maybe nitrous, you would retard the timing. So you clap backwards. And yeah, thank you.
That's hot. That is hot. He had me grabbing on my chest like, oh my God. But that's the same thing, though. It applies to your journey because of the fact that if you don't allow yourself to begin calibrating to what you need, the specifics, from the way you use your fuel to the way you calibrate the ratio between torque, the pull, and horsepower, the push. For many of us, we try and do a whole bunch of spiritual horsepower. And it's like push, keep trying to push yourself. Honey, if you're going uphill, you're going to need some torque up in there. You're going to need some torque up in there. If you are doing your car in a manual way, you need to downshift because, like he taught me, all the power is in third. Like, yes. Oh my God. Let me pop it into third. Yes. Okay. Knowing how your vehicle is meant to be run and knowing how some people will want to ride in your vehicle without chipping in on the gas, without helping to push if that vehicle runs out of fuel, not realizing that you are, burning too much fuel, that there's no necessity for how much you are consuming. These all tie into your spiritual journey. That's his work voice. That's Frey's work voice. Y'all, he has a work voice, and then he has a husband voice, and then sometimes he uses his work voice as a husband voice, if you catch my drift. Okay, let me stop. Playful. Just because people are playful with you does not mean they respect. Sometimes we have to understand that these people who should have treated you better and are now regretting it, they were playful with you because they saw you as a plaything. I know it's hard and hurtful to hear that, but someone who loves you needs to tell you. They treated you like a plaything because they're immature, not because that's all you deserved. Because they don't know how to have an adult, healthy connection. Not all of us learned about healthy love. Not all of us learned about dignity. Not all of us learned the things we needed to learn in childhood. So many of us have not. Just because they treated you like a plaything, it's not because you don't carry intrinsic value. It's because they lack the capacity to understand the gravity of what they once had. I don't know if you need to give them a second chance. Obedience in reverse. No, absolutely not. Never allow yourself to become obedient to someone else's toxicity, to their toxic programming, to their self-sabotage. Do not become obedient to that. Summon. Yo, first off, motherfucker, who you trying to summon? You thinking what? You trying to summon? Fuck you and your finger. Look at that shit. Trying to summon you? Summon? No. It's this sense of maybe this person that this reading is about for you still hasn't learned the gravity of you. Maybe they're missing you because, I don't know, the convenience of having you around. They're missing that. Like, I know quite a few people in my life, they know that when I'm around, I will take care of everything. I will take care of everything. I will make sure everything is situated. I will take care of it all. You don't even have to ask me. I will volunteer myself. I will make sure everything is situated. You just sit back, you just relax. It's all good. I'll make sure, and I'm thorough. I'm extremely meticulous and thorough when I'm taking care of things for people. Compassion and transformation. You have to have compassion for yourself as you go through this transformation, as you go through the changes that are necessary to take you to much more elevated places within yourself, within your life, within your journey. You have to give yourself some wiggle room, you have to. So strength and self-worth, these two go together because it takes a lot of strength to recognize what your self-worth actually is. You're worth way more than you realize. You're worth way more than you realize. Just because you don't understand how valuable you are an environment, a work team, whatever it is, you're worth way more than you are. I remember before I used to sell myself short quite a bit. Part of the reason I say that is because I used to get hired as a makeup artist for on location projects, right? I've worked with stock photographers, like really successful ones. I've worked with recording crews. I've done music videos. I've done commercials. I've worked with big names, Comcast. I've done several of their commercials. Just a whole bunch of different large corporations have hired me as a makeup artist, and they continued to hire me because guess what? When you hire me as a makeup artist and I'm only charging you for my makeup artistry, you also have a nail tech, a hair tech, you have a wardrobe stylist, and you have someone who can do post-production editing for you if you ask me to. I should not have compromised myself by volunteering all of those additional services completely for free for large corporations that can afford a separate fee or a package deal. And I think that's what we do for a lot of people. We compromise ourselves because what? You have to apologize for understanding the value of what you bring? What? What? No. You don't have to apologize for that. And when people begin to regret that they allowed you to walk away, that they even pushed you away because maybe you were starting to understand that they were taking advantage of you and you weren't okay with it. And they were going to need to put effort into you and they didn't want to. Okay, well, then leave me be. Literally, leave me be. Leave me alone. There's plenty of other people in this world. There are billions of other people in this world. But yet you still are in their thoughts. You're in their mind. Why? Oakland Emmy says, because you're the shit. That's why you're the shit. Spiritual Emmy says, because the gravity of you has kept them orbiting around you all this time, silently, covertly. They have been orbiting you this entire time, waiting for an opportunity to once again re-enter your atmosphere. Maybe they're just a comet. Comets don't typically enter your atmosphere. They're on a specific trajectory and they have their own orbit and they go and they disappear and then they come back and you see them for a little bit and then they go again and they disappear and then they come back again and you see them for a little bit. Some of these people who should have treated you better and are regretting it now, they've gone through this cycle multiple times. Through the years, they've gone through this cycle multiple times. At no point have they found the courage to hold themselves accountable to the degree that they make the necessary changes that are appropriate to reinstate your dignity. Your request to exist in a dignified manner in their presence is not you asking for too much. That's the bare basics. That's the minimum. That is the minimum. Bare minimum. World within world. You're this entire world within them. And you're hidden away within them, within their life. You are a world within their world because you're self-contained, right? You are self-contained. They're going through this shadow journey. They're dealing with their shadow self. Their shadow self is really doing a number on them, letting them see how severely they messed up by letting you walk away. Mother Earth. So this is possibly, it's in reverse, right? It's possibly something that extends beyond human existence. It might be something that goes directly into repeated soul patterns. Maybe this is something the two of you have done in multiple lifetimes and you're doing it again in this lifetime. You don't sit still so they can't catch up with you. which, I mean, if it's your nature to be, I guess, very mobile, then that's your nature. But if what you're doing is trying to keep busy so that you don't have to address the feeling of their absence, I mean, that's a completely different thing. That's a completely different thing. You know, like avoidance of what needs to be processed is a different thing. For me personally, as a woman, as a sacred feminine essence, if you avoid me, that is cowardly, and I don't have time for cowards. I mean, especially, I don't go out of my way to initiate things with people. So if it's been that much of a thorn in your side that I am absent from your life and you can't find the courage to correct that, to ease your own suffering, really, I don't need to deal with that. I don't I'm sorry, I can't be your mother. Sorry. You know, I can't coddle you in that way. I can coddle my children, but you're not a child. So in many ways, my stance of taking a step back for people who don't know how to walk forward, it's a show of my love for you. It's a show of me encouraging you to exist with dignity. I'm not going to treat you like you're incapable. I'm going to respect a decision you made as an adult to avoid what needs to be addressed, right? So that's up to you. That's up to you. If you want to avoid it, go ahead. You're going to continue to suffer. You're going to continue to think about all the different ways in which you should have treated me better and now you regret it and blah, 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 blah. You know, like I see this time and time and time again. People who are malignant with me, they were malignant in their maltreatment of me. I'm not talking about romantic. I'm talking about people who claim friendship, who claim to love me and support me and all of these. You know, I don't care if you're possessed. I don't. I know it sounds crazy, but these people, they get this parasitic issue, a spiritual parasite, and then it's this thing of like suddenly they have it in them to be malignant towards me, to intentionally, you know, be toxic towards me, hurtful, harmful, destructive, all of these different things. Like I'm not going to save you from yourself. That existed already. That capacity to be that way existed already. That parasite is not an excuse. All it did was bring to the surface and showcase what you already are deep inside. That's all it did. That's all it did. So now, am I the mean one for walking away and staying away? I go deal with that situation, go deal with yourself, get yourself in the right gear. And if you can catch up, because I'm not going to slow down for you. We're all going to end up in the same place anyways. I'm not going to slow down for you. I'll meet you at the end zone. And if that's something, you know, people will be like, but I can't do it on my own. Yeah, you can. If you can mess up on your own, you can fix it on your own. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I absolutely believe that. If you can mess up on your own, you can fix it on your own. Does that mean you shouldn't ask for help? No, because sometimes that's part of you fixing it on your own. Finding the courage to ask for help. That's you seeking out a solution on your own. But if you're going to sit there as though like people need to go out of their way to find solutions for you and offer it and offer and offer and offer, and you're just going to sit there and like you're going to be able to be the one to pick and choose, and other people are obligated to do this for you, I mean, keep suffering. That's a harsh thing to say, but it's reality. It's the reality of it. You're going to keep suffering. Because for many of us, as empaths, we've learned how to hide how deeply we struggle, how profound our suffering is. We hide that really, really well. Most people have no idea what it is I'm going through when I'm going through it. Maybe weeks, months, years later, I'll mention something, and then people who were there during that time, they'll be like, oh my gosh, that's what you're going through? That's what you went through? Yeah. 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 Because I'm an empath through and through. And it's this thing of like, I don't want to involve other people. It's not because I'm embarrassed. Like, y'all got your own thing that you're doing. You have your own thing you have to worry about. You know, if I can figure out a way to do it myself, I just do it myself. It's okay. It's okay. It's a little more inconvenient, but you know, that's fine. It's no biggie. We all experience inconveniences here and there. It's no biggie, right? Do you hear me talking and you feeling like I'm telling your story? Is it like I am absolutely snitching you out because, like, how do I know this? How does she know this? How does she know me so well? Because, honey, none of us are actually that special. We're all so similar. We are all so similar to each other. And because society has taught us to be so alone in our pain, we've begun to think and really truly cling to this distorted perception that we are the only ones that go through the things we go through. That's what makes this environment, this community, so sacred, is because this is the place where you can come here, you don't feel judged. You feel like, you know, my people would be knowing. They know we all go through the same thing. We get it. We get each other. Could you imagine what would happen to the world if this community existed globally? I mean, it does. It does. My live streams are global, but global in real life, not virtual. Are you serious? I mean, how would the world be? As a matter of fact, yo, just so we can see how diverse our community is, please, in the comments, let me know what country you're from, what state you're from, whatever you're comfortable sharing. Whatever you're comfortable sharing with the public, let me know. Where are you from? Where are you from? What continent, what country, what state, whatever it is. Okay. So as you guys are doing that, balance. We need to allow ourselves to balance. The easiest way to balance yourself in your life is to allow yourself to use both feet. One foot is made of shadow, the other is made of light. When you allow yourself to use both feet, you are standing strong. Let's look at this, you guys. We got Mississippi, we have Oregon, we have the USA, we have Kansas. I'm loving this. Ontario, we have Texas, Kansas, Arkansas, Arkansas, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Wisconsin, Canadian born Argentinian, Montana. Like, we literally are just a very, very diverse group. We are very, very diverse with very, very diverse background, upbringing from different cultures. Like, some of the most commenters from other countries outside of the US, Australia, South Africa. We have all everywhere in Europe. It's just like, yeah. You know, Maria, one of my kids, he does wordplay a lot, right? And so when he is in a rush, he'll say he's Russian. He's from Russia. When he wants to eat, he says, Mommy, I'm Hungarian right now. He says, I'm Hungarian. I'm like, are you hungry? He goes, yes, I'm Hungarian. It cracks me up. Because whenever he says that, I think of you, Maria. I think of you. I'm gonna airship him to you so you can feed him. But he has a lot of allergies, so maybe not. Maybe not. All right. So surrender and gratitude, right? Surrender and gratitude. You don't have to have gratitude as you surrender. You don't. You don't have to have gratitude as you surrender. You can be upset. You can be frustrated. You can feel whatever gambit of emotions you feel. That's fine. But you have to surrender. You have to surrender to your own soul, to the will of your soul. Okay? Let go in reverse. Someone doesn't want to let go. I don't know if it's a person who didn't treat you in the way that you deserved. I don't know if it's that person. So I think for some, not all, okay? For some, it's this sense that you weren't necessarily maltreated. It was more this thing of they didn't know what to do because you carry so much gravity within you. And it really threw them for a loop. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to handle it. And so what ended up happening was they turned away from you. So it wasn't necessarily a case of abandonment, right? And another thing, I've said this before, and I think it's a good time for a reminder. We never really know how long someone is supposed to be part of our life. So if they weren't meant to be in your life long term, if that was never in your soul's plan, how could you accuse them of abandoning you when they stayed for as long as your soul asked them to be present? How is that abandonment? And that realization right there, that was the very thing that helped me to begin to heal my abandonment wounds, my rejection wounds. Those wounds still exist. I still very heavily protect myself from those two types of experiences. But that is how I began that part of my healing. It is not for me to dictate to you with my limited human understanding how long you're supposed to be in my life. It is for me to enjoy the space that we share for as long as we both share that space. And that's it. That's it. No one has ever abandoned me. Life has taken people away when they no longer were healthy for me. And the more I hung on to that unhealthy connection, the more I suffered as it was taken away. So, do I still have abandonment issues? No. I have a history of perception of abandonment, but I've never actually been abandoned. I haven't. I haven't. When people are not meant to be in my life will not allow them to be there. When people are meant to be in my life, then my life will bring them back to me. So it's this thing of like, you have to make sure that you allow yourself to just be present in whatever way you're meant to be present. If that is something that is only a few days or a few weeks, then that's what it is. If it's something that's meant to be lifelong, then that's what it will be. When I met my husband, I didn't really think anything of us hanging out because of the fact that I knew I was moving in a few weeks and I was going to move 3 hours away from him. And I wasn't going to fool myself into becoming attached to a person who was going to hurt my feelings and disappoint me, do shady shit when I'm not in town. I was already prepared for that potentiality. Not that I 100% believe that he would do those things, but I prepared myself for the potentiality of that. And so I didn't allow myself to get very attached to him. I was prepared for that to just be us hanging out for a few weeks. That was like 23 years ago. 23 years ago. Even after 23 years, never having taken a break from each other, 23 years of being in each other's life daily. I don't feel like I'm guaranteed to have him for another 20 something years. I feel like for however long he is with me, I will just do what I can to cherish our time together. And it's not me preparing for him to leave. It's me being fully present in what we are doing together right now. Just really allowing ourselves, really, really allowing ourselves to feel what we feel, to do what we do. What do we do? Be present, experience, observe. We don't have to repeat the things that we don't want to repeat. Ooh, Lisa. Ooh. I think this has to be a chapter in my book. She says, abandoned is an ugly word, isn't it? I used to think my dad abandoned me. Only in my later years, I realized he gave me a gift. I'd rather have no father than a bad father. Ooh. This is a part of my story that needs to be told in my book. It's a part of my story that needs to be told in my book. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. No matter what you've lived through, no matter the struggle, no matter the pain, no matter the distortion that creates an amplification of your pain, if you hold on to one thing, let it be your integrity. Let it be your integrity. Hold on to nothing else but that. Hold on to the knowing that you're holding the most precious part of you. Release in reverse. Again, this refusal to let go, holding on to the very pain, the infectious matter. So one of my kids, his tooth was wiggly. I mean, it was like for weeks, he just would not allow us to do anything to assist his tooth. And I'm like, bro, you got a big grown-up tooth behind that tooth already. You have to let us pull that tooth out. And he's like, no, I don't want to violate his sovereignty, right? So I'm like, bro. I mean, it got to the point where the tooth wasn't just wiggly. It wasn't like this anymore. It was sticking straight out because the tooth behind it had just pushed the back part of the root completely out. It was hanging on by a little nub. So it's sticking straight out. And I was like, oh my God, could you just please wiggle that? It's done. And eventually he did pull it out, but now the tooth that was pushing the baby tooth out, that's like so far back. I'm like, now you got to do what you need to do to encourage that tooth to come forward. And he goes, but I like it back there. You can like it back there all you want, but that's a guarantee you're going to be having braces when you're a little bit older. Like, do yourself a favor and encourage it to be aligned. That's going to affect your bite. It's going to affect everything. And that's the thing. We don't realize that our refusal to let go of this one little thing that's a part of us, right? It's a part of him. That's what his thing was. It's a part of him. That's his tooth from his body. That is a part of him. And he didn't want to let it go. And so what happened? It created such a massive misalignment. That misalignment will be corrected. It will. It will. It's finally gotten to a point where he can get his bottom teeth behind it a little bit. And so that will help encourage it to go forward. Reminders from his parents daily. Hey, make sure you do that. Make sure you allow your mouth to stay slightly open so your tongue can naturally push it out back to a proper alignment. But we don't have to go through that type of struggle if we would just let go of what's already being let go of. You know? Right. Yes, yes, yes. Reading with Mama Bear. By the way, I love your screen name. Not a permanent part. It's temporary, nothing foundational. And that's the thing. The things that are taken from you are not the foundational things. And if someone's going to be like, Emmy, if my parent is taken from me, that's a foundational thing. Yes. The memories of the experiences that you had with your parents, either in their presence or their absence, is absolutely a foundational thing. The memory is not being taken away, though. It's not being taken away. That's not what was being taken away. So that's not a foundational thing. You're keeping the foundational thing with you. So that's a very, very powerful, powerful comment. Love in reverse. It's almost this thing of someone was trying to be some type of piper. You know, they're trying to call you in with their usual song and dance. And it's kind of just this thing of no, no, no. This reminds me of my mom's funeral services. It reminds me of my mom's funeral services. For her funeral, I had planned everything. I made all the arrangements. I designed everything from her floral arrangements to everything. It was the most gorgeous, gorgeous thing ever. And at the very end of her funeral, after she'd been lowered, the thing was that I had rented pure white homing pigeons, these doves, right? One for each of my siblings and I. And the thing was this, like, it was supposed to be symbolic of us letting her go. It was up until that moment that I was able to lie to myself. I even did her makeup. It was up until that moment, and we were all holding birds. And as soon as I released the bird, I could never get it back. I knew that it would fly home and nothing would stop it from flying home. And it was this thing of maybe it will land somewhere and I will catch it and I will bring it home with me and I will take care of it. The thing they do with these homing pigeons, they don't feed them for a few days. They intentionally don't feed them for a few days to ensure that they return back home wherever it is that they know is home, is safe, has food, they will go back home. And it's this thing of we are so starved for connectivity, for replenishment, for love, for acceptance. And I think that's part of why. I think that's just naturally a part of why we go through what we go through as human beings, to ensure we go back home and we're done. When we let go, when we let go of our hold on this life, these experiences, we all go back home. So it's almost like someone is trying to call you in because you're their peace. And you can be their peace, but are they your home? Are they home to you? Because if they're not home to you, I don't know that they'll ever get you back. If you're not home to them, I don't know if their destination involves you. So this is about releasing our expectation. This is about allowing ourselves to love in a way that's really limitless and unconditional. Not unconditional as in you are simply turning a blind eye to the bad behaviors, the maltreatment, because you love them, you'll let them continue to behave poorly. No, this is about loving them in such a way that will free them to release all of these toxic programs that they cling to and enter into a space of true sovereign freedom where they can now just be who they are because of you, because of your presence, to just allow them to be who they are. That in a world where you're not allowed to be yourself, that definitely feels like home. It feels like home. Compassion in reverse, like the lack of compassion for self. As you are speaking, about your mother, I got a YouTube notification. Oh God, my mom's on channel 10. My mom was bedridden. When I took over her care, she was bedridden. And so she would literally stay in bed all day and she would watch the Filipino channel. And I got her a subscription for that. And when I moved her with me, I have very distinct memories of her telling me to turn on channel 10. Specifically, that was a channel that was used. Channel 10. Just because you let go doesn't mean what you had didn't exist. It doesn't mean it didn't exist. It doesn't mean it wasn't real. It just means that was a different time in your life. Adventure in reverse. They're afraid to go on this adventure. They're afraid to take the risks that are necessary to reach the pinnacle where you are at. Perception. They're trying to perceive things without distortions, but I don't know if they're capable. They want to establish harmony with you. You know, they want to establish harmony. Sparrows, I believe sparrows are said to be messengers from the other side. Hold on. Here. This is a very productive and prolific time. Look for the nobility in the most common of things and people, including yourself. Walk with poise, your head up, your head held up, eyes straight ahead, showing the world your self-respect and dignity. Your heart is opening more and more to the love you receive, and you're more readily expressing love. Your energy and vitality are awakening, and you'll find yourself whistling or singing without even being aware of it, singing the song of your heart. So the sparrows up there, it's almost this sense of ancestors are guiding you into a space of harmony so that you can better perceive what it is that's happening. And then the other image, the dove, express your love to as many people as possible in words and in deeds, even in small yet significant ways. The soul of someone who has recently passed is making a smooth, peaceful, and joyous transition. This is a powerful time of prophecy and clear vision, and now more than ever, you're able to glimpse the future. You're experiencing a spiritual renewal that's a result of a period of intense self-examination and challenges. This is a good time to stay at home and enjoy your domestic side. It's important to nurture yourself with loving care. So really, so many powerful, powerful messages. So many powerful messages. Transition in reverse. So this is not going to be something that's a transition. It's going to be an all or nothing. It's going to be an absolute wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, all or nothing. Either you're going to do it or you're not. Come in with both pew-pews blazing or not at all. Celebration. They're going through tremendous, tremendous metamorphosis. I think for some of you, this person will return with a capacity to treat you in the appropriate way, to cherish you with the appropriate level of consideration. And it's not going to be for everyone, but for those that it does apply to, it's going to be this whole amazing thing. They're having to follow their rhythm right now because they're in the middle of dreaming a beautiful dream. But see, here's the thing, it's a collaborative dream. So for some of you, the two of you are dreaming the same thing. Telepathy is activated for some. Against the grain and faith in the process. So it's this thing of you being sanded down. You're being sanded. You're being smoothed out. All the rough edges are being smoothed. And it's this feeling of parts of you being removed, right? Like you're losing yourself. Not necessarily. You're being formed is what it is. Have faith in your process. Releasing allegiances in reverse. So this is someone who still, to some degree, refuses to let go of their allegiance to their own toxicity. Like, Joy. Sorry. Joy, come. Come. Good girl. Come. This is someone who, I guess in many ways, it's someone who still hasn't forgiven themselves for whatever it is that they did. They did something, and whatever they did kind of pushed you away. I don't feel like it's something like cheating on you. I feel like it's something that has more to do with their process. Maybe they were in a process and it caused them to shut down or turn away, grow silent, grow cold. It's something like that. Defend to the end the worthwhile, what is already with you. It's okay for you to defend yourself. Okay? It's okay for you to defend yourself. It really, really is. It's okay for you to have this very defensive stance of this right here. All of this sounds like a personal problem, not my problem, how they feel. Maybe it's not your problem, or maybe you don't want it to be your problem because it overloads you as well, you know, and not just speaking directly to you. It's more of giving something, giving people something to think about, right? Really letting yourself explore, why is your stance your stance? Why do you feel that way? And it has nothing to do with trying to talk yourself into making sure that you make someone else's personal problem your problem. It has everything to do with you recognizing this opportunity to begin that internal introspection, that involution for your evolution, that diving deep into your truth to ensure that you're not passing up an opportunity your soul is gifting you with to dive deeper into this assessment of self, right? So I'm totally against doing people projects. Girl, are you going to go to sleep on my shoulder? Are we just sick of life? Is that what it is? We're just sick of this? Are we sick of this, Joy? We're just so sick of this. Can y'all hear her breathing? Girl. I'm not even squeezing her though. She's going to sleep. She's going to sleep. Look at that. All right, here we go. So here's the thing here. Card number 34, in the world, not of the world. You are in this world. You are not of this world. You are here to experience the things that you can only experience from a human perspective. Human emotions are very unique to humans. It's very, very unique, very specific type of experiences for humans. And you can't experience it as another species. You can't experience it as another planetary system. You can't experience it as a soul. You know? Uh-oh. Oh my God. Who's that? Who's that? Go, Joy, go. Go get him, girl. She don't know who she's getting. Did you see her ears touch? They're like dowsing rods. She's like, there, that's where I have to go. Oh, Joy. Oh, Joy. So here, really quick. I gave too much to someone who didn't know how to receive, but also to someone who was emotionally manipulative. That is what I cannot forgive. You don't have to forgive. You don't have to. The forgiveness program is nothing but a program. It's a program of thinly veiled, covert manipulation and entanglement. I have very specific beliefs about forgiveness and the forgiveness program. So here's the thing. I don't forgive anyone, but nor do I hold a grudge. I recognize people for what they are, people who can either provide me the experiences that serve as the lessons for my growth to expand, ripen, mature, or people who are simply there to assist me through their presence. Like they comfort me, they nurture me, that type of thing. You don't have to forgive that. You have to see what that person was helping you to learn through their lack of awareness, their lack of consideration, their lack of grace, and their lack of divinity. They were nothing but a tool, nothing but a delivery method for what your soul was helping you to learn. And if you can get yourself into that space where you're recognizing people's proper place in your life, it's not like you're using people. These people are being brought into your life by your soul because they have the capacity to co-create these types of difficult or sometimes enjoyable situations with you. So in reality, they didn't have that kind of power over you. They didn't. And it was, see, get all the answers, harness the answers to the questions. Okay. That's what my notification just said. harness the answers to the questions, but you have to know what question your soul was encouraging you to ask, right? So you definitely don't have to forgive. I don't believe at all in this concept of you have to be the bigger person. Motherfuckers, nearly everyone I come across is going to be bigger than me. Are you kidding me? I can never be the bigger person. Okay? I'm just not the bigger person. The only one I'm bigger than is joy. Okay? So that's the thing. You don't have to take this stance of you needing to be okay with how people treated you and you need to forgive them because you're not spiritual. If you, and fuck all that shit. No, if you did me dirty, you did me dirty. You're not going to be in my life no more. Am I going to wish you harm? No. Am I let you back in? Bitch, please. Am I going to recognize this for what it is? You didn't have that power. I co-created the situation with you because I needed to learn something. And you were the only shady motherfucker in my life that could help me to learn it, because everyone else carries a level of dignity and grace that wouldn't allow them to take me to this dark space. You've done your job. Get the fuck out of my life. That's my stance. That's my stance for real. That's my stance. That's all it is. I needed to be brought to this space within myself. I'm here. You don't have your Uber driver stay outside once you're home. They go and pick up other stuff. They go and do whatever they need to do. So it's kind of like this person, this situation is your spiritual Uber to get you to that place within yourself that you need to be at. There's nothing wrong with being angry at all. When people do you dirty, I mean, why would you not be angry? Why would you not feel disrespected? But don't stay there. That's the thing. That's the key. Don't allow yourself to stay in places that you've already learned from. Allow yourself to remain very, very like fluid. See, people think that strength is about rigidity. It is so not. The most rigid things, if you hit it at the right angle, if you hit it enough, it will absolutely break. It will falter. When you have something that's flexibly strong, the tensile strength, that factor right there, it goes much higher than something that's rigid. So buildings that are designed to withstand, 200 mile per hour, I'm totally pulling numbers out my ass. Okay. 200 mile per hour winds who are designed to withstand earthquakes and things like that. These are not rigid buildings. They have foundations and architectural components that allow for it to shift and sway without fully breaking. There might be some damage, but it's not going to completely crumble. Because why do you think houses like in California are typically built with wood and stucco? To account for the shifting. Houses in California, it's very rare for you to have a basement. Unless you live in the hills, you're probably not going to have a basement. Why? Because the environment can shift. In states where they don't typically have tectonic activity, there's a lot of basements. There's a lot of, concrete. There's a lot of masonry that's going on because you don't have that. You don't have to accommodate that. I mean, yeah, it's still made of wood. Yeah, it's cheap material. It's still made of wood, but you can accommodate that type of structure, that type of material. So that's the thing. The materials you're being given is going to be contingent on the environment that you're building in. I'm just saying, focus on the light. Not because you're ignoring the darkness, but because when you are in a space of darkness and shadow, not intrinsically evil, but I don't like to stub my toes. We don't operate from a place of fear. If I don't like to stub my toes, I'm going to need to shine a little light. I'm going to need to shine a little light. Again, it's not because I'm afraid. And it's not me being in denial of when I'm afraid. I can tell myself when I'm afraid. I can admit it. I can say it out loud, like I'm scared. many, many, many of my live streams in the beginning because I can public speak, but I'm introverted. And I'd be like, I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. It's okay. That's where I'm at in that moment. I work through it. I work through it. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is what you do in the face of it. That's how I know I have courage. Because despite me not being in my comfort zone, I don't like to talk in person. Like people who meet me in person, which not many people, no one knows what I do for work. No one knows what I do for work. That's rare for someone who has in real life access to me to know what I do for work. I don't want people knowing that. Then they're going to think I'm going to talk a lot. I don't talk a lot. I'm a very quiet person in real life. Okay. And it's okay though, because I can go ahead and push through that. Okay. Push through, not force myself, but gather up my courage to fortify me so that I don't crumble as I go through the process of exiting that space of discomfort. Okay. Going beyond normal, allowing yourself to recognize that sometimes you go beyond normal a little too much and it becomes this thing that's no longer groundbreaking or revolutionary. It's just you punishing yourself. You don't have to do that. I'm going to show you guys something, okay? So I've slowly started working out again. I've only been to the gym twice. But here's the thing. I'm not punishing myself anymore. I'm not going to lift so heavy just because I want to prove to myself that I'm not weak and that I can't. No, no more of that. No more. I don't want to spend the time that it takes to recover from injuring myself. But I want to show you something. You see that? You see that? You see that? You see that? And I don't even have really much of anything that I've done to my biceps. They feel stronger. No, I'm not super chiseled. Do I need to be? Why, to impress you? Honey, if you're not impressed with my mind and my logic, baby boo, we're not the same type of people. We're just not. I'm not interested in impressing you. If what I say, what I bring to the table is not enough, honey, you need to go to another table. This is the only thing I cook up. Bowls of authenticity, right? You need to have the courage to have that stance for the people in your life. You don't like what I'm serving? Honey, I don't need to serve you. You need to excuse yourself from the presence of royalty. And I don't need to explain anything else. That's for you to figure out and hopefully learn from. But if you don't, that's also okay because it's none of my business. None of my business. Who gonna check me, boo? So in Fremont, California, were you near the Fremont Hills? Were you near like Ohlone area? Kind of near the hills itself. I've seen in the Fremont area, that area, some of the houses, they have basements. But most other California homes, especially in the Bay Area, especially new homes, no basements. No, nope, nope. Diving for light in reverse. I mean, you don't dive up, you dive for light down. When you are surrounded by shadow and confusion, darkness, what ends up happening is you don't know up from down. Dive into yourself. You're not to go up, you're not to go down. You're to go into yourself to find the light that lives within you always. There's a light that lives within you that never can be extinguished, ever, regardless of what people want or do or any of that. It can never be extinguished. That's the light that fuels the body. It can never be extinguished, or else life is gone. Cannot be sustained. Dive into that truth. Dive into that truth, allowing yourself to really rediscover what you're here for, allowing yourself to reassess other people's place in your life, right? Like, what I was talking about earlier, like you can be mad, that's fine. You don't have to not be mad. Like if someone hurts you, you have a right to feel what you feel, but don't stay there, because then you become a prisoner of that. Process it instead. Allow yourself to go through whatever process is necessary to begin shifting your perception of what you experienced. Giving too much power to the individual that initiated it, that co-created it, that's not going to help you. Recognizing you co-created and that you have your own part that you're going to harvest from that to learn with. That's powerful. That's powerful. That's why people can do a lot of different things to me, but I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to disappear. Why? Because, honey, you don't have that kind of authority to break me in a way that I do not agree to. If you want to disagree, I don't give a shit. And you see how that works? That's how you know you don't have that type of authority over me, because I don't give a shit if you give me permission to be myself or not. Like, unless I traverse your vaginal canal and baby boo, I did not traverse your vagina. Okay? Your vagina. No. You're not going to tell me what to do. My own mother couldn't tell me what to do. You're definitely not telling me what to do. You can pretend that you can, though. You waste your time on that. And if you do that, just know you're going to serve as my entertainment if I choose to pay attention. Yeah, that's a thing. Like sometimes, most times, I'll even just ignore you like you don't exist. That's rude. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. It's not that I give zero fucks. No. I have an entire storehouse of F's that I give very lovingly and generously throughout the day, every day. I have an entire storehouse. They are duplicating fucks. So I never run out. I give many, many fucks all day. About what, though, that's for me to decide. You don't get to tell me what I'm going to care about. You don't get to dictate anything to me. Because last I checked, according to this title, you're the one that's missing me, aren't you? Stop it. That's how you fucked up the first time. For those that are cross watching, I'm telling y'all, I know you getting all riled up silently because I'm speaking openly like this, but that's how you messed up the first time, thinking that you could manipulate the situation and cause your person to feel obligated. Baby boo, I'm not a typical Piscean. What? First off, Mars is my home planet, meaning I'm designed to fuck it up. That just comes natural to me. Secondly, Capricorn. I say what I say, and I'm Aquarius cusp. Unless you like to get cut, I'm just saying. Don't make me cut you with my words and pour lemon on it. Then ram you into the water with my Capricorn horns. I'm just saying, stop being so funny. You really thought you could come here and try and dictate stuff. You can't. Your jokes are no longer funny. Yes, it's no longer funny. It's corny. So when corny people try and come back and do things, no. No. I don't have it in me to laugh anymore today at your expense. Maybe just a little bit. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. I gotta do a few things. Why don't we do this? Let's do this. I'm gonna encode the energy to kind of cleanse out cords, right? If you have an issue with someone corded into you, you don't know if someone's corded into you, right? You can't stop thinking about a person. You can't move forward from the person. Everything circles back around to the person, nonstop the other person, right? You probably got a cord. So first and foremost, I do have an event that will be coming up. Let me get this on the screen. Well, the comfort care meditation is coming this weekend, but I want to do energy work for you guys. Hold on. So this right here, if you go to k33academy.com, look for the cord lab. That's where I'll teach you how to maintain your cords, how to address all of the cords in your life. This is an advanced class, but you don't need any previous experience or knowledge or training to take this workshop. Okay. My workshops are intensive. They're about 4.5 hours long, but I'm going to teach you the heck out of cords. So here's the thing. If you would like to receive some cord cleansing and a cord filter installed into all your cords to kind of filter out a lot of that toxicity, put #cords. #cords. And when you do that, it will go ahead and open up a potential for me to clear the cords for you. I will not be entering into your space. Hello. I am an etheric germaphobe. Your cooties can stay with you. I'm just saying. I will not be touchy-feely you, okay? But hashtag those cords so I know who wants and who doesn't. It doesn't matter if I see your comment or not. As long as you do #cords, that will go ahead and program your field to receive this, okay? So breathe very deep and very slow. And if you can't comment, you got to subscribe to be able to comment. So just click subscribe and then you'll be able to do this. All right. Breathe deep and slow. I'm going to play some music for us because my energy is now super surging. Woo, super surging. Let me I've waited 100 years. I'll wait a million more for you. Let me find the song. There's a specific song that I want. Here. All right. Wait. All right, here goes. Breathe deep and slow. For those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel warmth and pulsating. Those are the areas where you have cords. Breathe. Breathe very deep and very slow. All your cords are currently being located. If you're watching the recording and you'd like to receive this, simply put #cords in the comments. Feel those emotions rising. Allow yourself to feel them and let them go. Simply leave your hand open. Feel a breeze gently roll those emotions off your hands. You've already learned from what you felt. Now it's time to thrive. Feel yourself expanding, slowly becoming larger than life. Feel yourself reclaiming the space within your field that was occupied by whatever energy went through those cords. Feel that foreign energy retreating back to its sender. Feel yourself coming home to you. Feel your peace being reestablished in your chest, in your high heart, in your throat, the back of your head, the back of your neck. A peace returning to your third eye. Feel your lower chakras receiving the energy they need to stabilize you within your life. Feel the vibration in your pelvic floor and by your belly button. Feel the effects of the reclamation of your space. Feel your Kundalini awakening and preparing to rise. This is the fuel for your ascension. Use it for you. Use it to love yourself. Use it to maintain your peace. Allow your emotions to rise. Allow that liquid love to overflow from your eyes. Allow it to cleanse your identity as it washes down your face. Allow your tears to fall onto your chest, or it can water the seeds of self-love. Grow yourself a beautiful garden that will sustain you. This garden is your sanctuary, not your dumping ground. Cleanse it with your tears. Allow yourself to sow seeds of love. Take one more deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Experience, allow, observe. Get out of your own way. Don't be afraid to let go. Breathe and allow. Feel your life shifting. Notice the change in the way you feel. Notice the change in the way you feel about yourself. Let yourself become aware of how loved you are. How supported you are within this life, within this journey. May everything you deserve find its way back to you. The opportunities, the connections, the abundance in all its forms. May you find your peace. May you find your courage to bring that peace home, to allow that peace to expand through your entire life. Take one more deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Come back to center. Rejoin me in this space that we share. Such a beautiful, beautiful feeling to allow yourself to become aware of the peace that already exists inside you. To allow that peace to rise to the surface, the forefront of your awareness, to allow it to expand through every single aspect of your life. This feeling right now, this is the life you deserve, where you feel like this every day. This is your norm. This feeling, this energy, this is my life's mission and purpose. To be able to hold a space so profound that the entire world returns back to this feeling, this space, this moment. There is no lacking, there is no unnecessary fear, there is no competition, there is no comparison, there is simply cognitive co-creation, a full awareness of what we're doing together for all of us. We don't have to agree. We don't have to believe the same things or live the same way. Just this type of existence where because you exist, you deserve dignity. You are to be supported, protected, loved. That's literally the reason I exist. That is the only reason someone as introverted as I am would ever agree to be so publicly witnessed by whoever is ready to witness. You're that as well. If you resonate with me in any way, shape, or form, it's because you have a similar purpose. And if there's anything I can do to further empower you, to help you find more courage, to be more visible, to better serve what your purpose is, I'll do it. I'll exit my comfort zone and I will do it because we deserve that. We deserve that. Our children deserve that. That is our birthright, and that is our natural state. It's time. Time for what? Time to allow everything you just experienced, everything you just heard, to marinate a little bit. Allow yourself to simply consider, how do the words that I've said, the things you've experienced, the thoughts that you've had, how do they tie into your life? in the past, the present, and your soon to be future. Take your power back. Don't just listen to me. Don't just take in what I say blindly. No. Let it marinate. See how it applies to you and what parts of you does it apply to. You are absolutely free to do with this information whatever is best for you. You don't need to show any type of loyalty to me. You don't need to blindly accept anything just because I said it. No, that's not how this works. That's not what this space is. This space is about you recognizing you are my equal, and I want you to. I encourage you to. I support you in this. Start acting like my equal. Live your life like you're my equal. No one needs to be on a pedestal. No one needs to stand alone on top of a mountain. There are certain things in life that need to be shared. And that beautiful, empowering co-creation that brings more peace home, that must always be shared to whatever degree you can find yourself able to share it. Okay? So guys, even if your light is little, still burn with passion. All it takes is a little bit of wind and a little bit of fuel to take that tiny little flame and turn it into an inferno. Set your entire life on fire. Live with passion. Most of all, be yourself. That's the most important thing. Be yourself. I got to get going, guys. So please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, you got to subscribe so we can interact, so I can see your comments. You never know how you'll inspire me with just sharing something, a thought, an opinion, an experience. You guys inspire me in more ways than you realize. When you share space with me, that's beautiful. When you share space with me and share of yourself through comments, that is entering into a powerful co-creative state with me. Be powerful in that way. Subscribe, comment, interact. Interact. Even if I don't see your comment, even if I don't interact with your comment, you have no idea how you affect other people. My son told me the most profound thing yesterday. We were having a conversation and he was talking about, yeah, that's why you need to share your experiences. And what he got from some video that I don't know what the video is. He said what he realized is that people need to witness you and your experiences and the way those experiences affect you, because what you share might someday be someone's survival manual. Ooh. And how many of us are simply just trying to survive? It's going to take all of us here right now to begin distributing survival manuals, not by force, not by coercion, but by simply sharing and leaving people free to accept or decline. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. So guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell. I believe it's tomorrow. I'm having my comfort care meditation. If you have any type of physical pain, if you have emotional pain, energetic pain, this is the perfect event for you to participate in. This is a meditative experience, but I will be doing energy work as we do this meditative experience. And the energy work will help calibrate your pain receptors, do some deep brain stimulation for those who are doing the enhanced ticket. I'm going to be doing deep brain stimulation. I have the capacity to do that remotely. And that will actually recalibrate your pain threshold. So that way you can be more comfortable as you begin to address the root causations of your pain. Okay? definitely check that out. There's a couple spots left, and it's tomorrow. Um, Once all the spots are gone, I'm going to be taking that down off the website. You won't be able to find it anymore. Okay. If that's something you want to be part of, it is tomorrow. You have to get your ticket today because I'm going to be taking it down at some point today. I got to get going. Y'all, I'll see you again very, very soon. Meet me here tomorrow for church. Bye, everyone.